The defense may now present its case. Finally. I call Barbara Jean Spencer to the stand. Miss Spencer, what is your relationship with the defendant?
Well, he's my big brother. But he was a lot more to me when we were growing up. I mean, he was the closest thing I ever had to a parent. He was my best friend. Luke was the person that I looked to for guidance.
For example?
He encouraged me to become a prostitute. No, there's more. When Luke discovered that my daughter was alive and living in Port Charles, going by the name of Carly, he lied to my face and told me she was dead.
This is my defense. I call Lucky Spencer to the stand. Mr. Spencer, please tell the court about your relationship with your father.
Imagine a father bigger than life. A father who understood you and guided you and gave you all the tools to get on in the real world. Well, that's not my dad.
He took an unconventional approach.
Oh, he hated being a father. Yeah, he'd tell you straight up. He only did it for my mom. And then he'd use any excuse and bail on her to go on some great adventure, which mostly involved a lot of booze and women.
Exaggerated claims, no doubt overheard by the witness from the defendant's detractors.
Oh, I was there. He dragged me all around the world when I was a kid, giving me these lessons in life. The things that he drilled into me: contempt for my brother, contempt for the law.
And through these things you gained.
Yeah, lying, cheating, running a scam.
You gained insight into the real world. He prepared you for the harsh realities.
It did prepare me for when I found out that he raped my mother.
Oh, that'll be all. Thank you. That's it. No more questions. Ooh. Tough witness. Do you wish to cross-examine? I have only one question for this witness, Your Honor. Do you think Luke Spencer was a good father?
I don't think he was any kind of father at all.
Who's dead? Well?
How is he? We were able to get his heart back in rhythm.
Is he gonna be alright?
We're gonna have to run tests before we know if he sustained any damage to the valves I just replaced, so... Excuse me.
What happened? I thought Dad was doing better.
This is what happened. Luke Spencer is what happened. Either he lives his life his way, or not at all.
I basically grew up without either of my parents. I got real sick when I was little, and they divorced right after that. My mom had a mental breakdown, and my dad didn't want any part of being a single father.
But he did reach out to you in his own special way. Ask her about the ice fishing.
He took me 3 times. I mean, the way he talks about it, you'd think it was this huge bonding experience, but we just sat there with our lines in the water. It was too cold to even talk. I think that's why he took me.
During the encephalitis scare at the hospital, it turned out that your father had a natural immunity, and he agreed to let them draw blood to make an antidote as long as you were given the antidote first. She should have been first, but the list got switched.
I was glad for that. You were so afraid that I was gonna die that you never left my side. You were the father that I always wanted. But he said that he never wanted kids, and he never wanted me, so I knew not to trust it. I knew it wouldn't last.
Does the defense wish to call any further witnesses? The defense rests. What about closing arguments? There will be no closing arguments in my court. Oh, give me a break, Your Honor. You seem like a very intelligent, reasonable man. You're handsome. You know, the distinguished robe and the hair and everything, it really works for you. Thank you, Mr. Spencer. But your good taste is not in dispute. We'll go straight to the jury. What jury? How does the jury find?
Guilty!
Guilty.
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 Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Not guilty.
But you testified against him.
I know. Now I'm testifying for him. Luke is not a perfect father. God knows he's not a perfect husband. He's a deeply flawed man. But despite all of those flaws, he has been there for each and every one of us. He would not condemn us, and we cannot condemn him. Not guilty.
I'm changing my vote. Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty. But not innocent by a long shot.
Not guilty.
Not completely guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty. Not guilty. This time.
All right. Not guilty. Only because I want a good rummy around to insult.
By unanimous decision, the defendant, Lucas Lorenzo Spencer, is found not guilty. Thanks for the assist, wife.
Because you're alive. Because now I'm going to kill you, you selfish son of a bitch.
Okay, now.
On the next General Hospital.
I want to help you catch who murdered my daughter.
We've got something.
I'm sending a message. You think Moreau would agree with you? Children need to be disciplined, don't you think?
Is Sonny going to start a war with Johnny Sakara?
Watch weekdays on ABC, weeknights on SilkNet.